Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. Today we are doing the June monthly reading and I am going to get started with the important dates, key dates that are going to come into play. These dates are crucial for us to understand the shift of the planets from one house to the other. So let's deep dive and look into it. As you can see on the screen here, you have Sun in the sign of Taurus until the first half of this month. And from June 15th, he will be moving into the sign of Gemini. Then Mercury is making multiple house shifts during the course of this month. He's starting with Taurus, then from June 6th onwards, he's moving into the sign of Gemini in his own house, in its own sign, and then he will be moving into the sign of Cancer from June 22nd. You have Venus, which is going to be staying in the sign of Aries for almost the entire duration of the month, barring the last 2 days when he is going to come into his own sign of Taurus from June 29th. Mars has been in debilitation in the sign of Cancer. You can see the smile on my face, and it is coming out into the sign of Leo, where he will get conjunct with Ketu, and we'll talk about that in a bit from June 6th onwards. Then you have Jupiter, which is, and this is wrongly represented, but Jupiter is already into the sign of Gemini and it's coming into Akshatra from June 13th. Now, Saturn is in Pisces in Uttara Nakshatra. Rahu is in Purv Bhadra, which is that of Jupiter as well. Just to call out, Saturn is in its own nakshatra placement. So that is again interesting. And last but not the least, is an Uttara Nakshatra that ruled by Sun in a sign of Leo. So guys, let's deep dive now into the reading and understand what would be the impact of these planets through the course of the month.
Capricorns, as you guys can see on your screen here, your lucky lord is currently placed in your third house. Now, we've done a detailed video on Saturn's transit into the sign of Pisces back in the month of March. But it is crucial for you guys to note that Saturn placed in the third house brings excessive amount of strength, courage to overcome the challenges and problems in your life. It's a good transit from that perspective for you folks. Saturn is going to be giving, with its third aspect, an aspect into your fifth house. Fifth lord for you, Venus, is 12th to itself in the fourth. The fourth placement is great, but this aspect of Saturn coupled with fifth lord being 12th to itself is going to bring in certain repercussions from a fifth house perspective. Now, this could mean, Capricorns, that you could find challenges with respect to your romantic life, relationships, love. From your education standpoint, there could be certain despair, turmoil coming in your way. Or you could also find some challenges with respect to your investment strategies. Now, of course, you have to understand that the movement of your Lord of Gains, Mars, is into the 8th house itself, and thus speculative gains are also promised, and I'll elaborate on that in a bit. But I definitely see some challenges coming in with this aspect of Saturn and Venus being 12th to itself. Then as we move forward, we see Saturn is giving an aspect into your 9th house as well as your 12th house itself. Travel, both long distance and short distance, long duration and short duration. And more importantly, any kind of foreign collaboration is definitely on the charts for you guys. You are going to see some remarkable success coming your way in all these areas. But Capricorns, who knows better than you guys? You will have to still toil hard for it. You will have to push your limits. You will have to test your skills. You will have to test your rigor in terms of achieving and accomplishing any of these goals. We've done a detailed video on the Rahu Ketu axis and its transit last month as well. Rahu is currently placed in your second house in its own sign, which shows and promises expansion coming in for your wealth, savings, expansion for your family as well, which is a positive sign. but at the same time, some level of fear and confusion too. And on the other side of the spectrum, you have a conjunction with Ketu of Mars. It's almost like 2.5 Mars are currently placed in your 8th house. 8th house represents transformation. Mars is coming out of debilitation from earlier this month. That reminds me, I need to apologize to you guys for the delay in this video, because at the time of this recording, as well as whilst you'll be able to view this video, Mars would have already shifted into the 8th house itself. Thus, you will note that your 4th lord and your 11th lord is now into the 8th house. You could have general lack of peace during this period. At the same time, from an education perspective, it's a very positive trigger because it's the 5th movement of your 4th lord. Knowledge coupled with education, with college gains, is coming into the house of research and transformation. So people who are looking forward to pursue any kind of research programs, any kind of education which requires, say, getting into PhD programs, will find positive success come in their direction. The other bit to notice that Mars also depicts your 11th house, means your wishes and fulfillment, goals and objectives, your targets, your desires. And that is coming into the house of transformation, into the house of suddenness, into the house of speculative gains as well. So do not be surprised, guys, if you find opportunities or you stumble upon opportunities that provide you the possibility of some unexpected gains. But Saturn being the lord of your Rashi, your Lagna, it is kind of counterintuitive for anybody to acclimatize and accept this kind of a shift coming in their lives. So if I were in your shoes, I would completely understand and concur with you. But the charts are saying what they are saying. Also means that your friend networks, your social networks could also enable you in help bring that change or that success or that gain. Now you have to understand that Mars plays in the 8th house is almost like coming into own house of Scorpio from a Kal Purush chart perspective. So it's not a tough or difficult position for Mars to be in, or in fact, I would say he would find himself in a much more comfortable situation than he was before in debilitation in your 7th house itself. Now, when he is placed in the 8th house, he'll be giving an aspect to his own sign, own house into the 11th house, which means you can derive certain unexpected gains. Goals, objectives should get achieved, least when you anticipate, more when you do not count on it. Mars is giving an aspect back to the 2nd house as well. Because of his conjunction with Ketu, I would want you to, practice some caution when it comes to your communication, interactions, or any kind of thought expression within your social, within your family, as well as professional circles. From a family perspective, it can create unnecessary amount of confusion thanks to Rahu also being placed in your 2nd house. And now, along with Ketu, when Mars is giving an aspect back to it, it can get trickier. By the way, I definitely anticipate Capricorns leaning towards enjoying better quality of food. Some of you could also be interested in taking up kitchen-related activities. Prepare your own cuisines, your own stuff. You might like or start enjoying hot or spicy food during the course of this transit of Mars. Mars is also giving an aspect on Saturn onto the 3rd house, which means that there will be an exorbitant amount of courage, self-belief, bravery, initiative that you are going to bring to the table during the course of this month. You will not shy away from the challenges that are going to be coming your way. And I see that as one of the greatest positives that is going to happen for you guys, Capricorns, in this month. Saturn's position is nevertheless not bad. And adding fuel to the fire is Mars, which is giving you that self-belief to accomplish certain goals. I think naturally post this transit, what you guys would feel is that a sense of fear might vanish away. As we move further, we see Venus is positioned in your 4th house. Now we talked about Venus coming 12th to itself, which was a little bit challenging, but you have to also understand that directionally, Venus prefers the 4th house position. And this is going to be a good period from that perspective because it is going to give you the ability to find that peace of mind amongst all the clutter, amongst all the challenges. Your fourth lord is going into the eighth. And thus, Venus is kind of bringing in some level of calm, some level of serenity in your life. He also happens to be the lord of your 10th house and he's placed bang opposite to it, which means people who are working, professionals who are pursuing their careers, who are in their businesses or otherwise would like to find some sort of a me time during this phase. Capricorn, you might want to take a step back, reflect, and see in what direction and in what speed, in what velocity, if I may say that as a vector combining the two, is your life headed. This is going to be a good period for self reflection. This is also going to be a great period for you to work towards your health, fitness. And since Jupiter is already placed in your sixth house, Sun is going to get coupled there along with Mercury. I think from a health and fitness perspectives, you will be doing a great job. It is just the quality of food that you have to keep a tap on. Now, Venus being the lord of the 10th house and giving an aspect back to the 10th is going to promise that you are going to bring that level of empathy, that level of introspection, retrospection exercise that you will be going through to improve on the quality of outcome at your workplace. And it will deliver positive results, especially for people who are associated in Venus related industries like fashion, luxury, healing, women related products, beauty products, cosmetics. In the last part of the month, at the fag end, Venus will then be transiting into your fifth house itself, into its own sign from where he will be giving an aspect to your 11th house. Now, Venus is a natural karaka, is a natural significator of creativity. He brings in that strength with respect to relationships, romance, and all the challenges that we were alluding to, even with that aspect of Saturn. You will see that there will be a dramatic shift and areas of improvement that you will either self identify through your reflection or might automatically start improving. And thus, I don't want you to be dropping the ball. I don't want you to be giving up in any situation in the initial part of the month of June. Venus placed here in the fifth house is also going to be giving an aspect to your 11th house, which means that he will leave no stone unturned in you accomplishing the goals, especially related to your karma, your work, your career, and profession. Fructification of your efforts and the inputs that you have given in the major part of June shall start help you reap benefits in the last part of the month or all the way towards July. As we move further, we see that Sun, who is the natural lord of the fifth house in the Kal Purush chart, is placed in your fifth house for the first half of the month. It is going to be a period where a lot of ego clashes, superiority complex, unnecessary arguments would also come into play in your romantic life. And we've already discussed the aspect of Saturn and the Venus movement as well. Please be cautious on that front. But this is going to be a great period for students watching this video because you are going to find the ability to put your head down and work towards the goals and objectives that you've put in place. Your fourth lord is in eighth and your eighth lord is in fifth. It is extremely rewarding and beneficial time for students. Yes, there will be some unexpected situations, but if you are planning to appear into any kind of competitive examinations, if you are strategizing for your next level growth in your career, if you are looking forward to bring education, research of some sorts for your career and professional growth, as well as competitive success, all of those areas you are going to see some positive outcomes trickle down. A lot of people will get worried with the eighth lord coming in the fifth house. Well, guys, there is a lot of positive as well when that happens. You have to keep both of those things in mind. Sun from here will be giving an aspect into your 11th house. Thus, wish fulfillment will happen, albeit a little delayed. In the second half of the month, Sun is going to form a 3-planetary conjunction with Jupiter and Mercury. Now, Jupiter happens to be the lord of your 3rd house and your 12th house, who's placed in your 6th. If you've not had a chance to watch my Jupiter transit video, I will highly recommend you to go and spend some time, or maybe just revisit that video and understand what that transit means for you. But Jupiter sitting here is going to definitely bring in some uptick with respect to your day-to-day activities, with respect to your efforts at work. With his aspect into your 10th house, he is going to further push you towards taking more decisive actions. But remember, this Jupiter is in trine with Rahu. And this Jupiter is going to be transiting from Mrikshira Nakshatra into the Ardra Nakshatra during the course of this month itself, wherein the balance of this tussle between Rahu and Jupiter is slightly going to tilt in the favor of Rahu. However, Sun's presence is going to strengthen it, and you will have a very strong Shatru Hanta Yoga formed in your chart. Whatever obstructions, obstacles, challenges, problems that have been putting you down, that have been pulling you back, you will successfully be able to overcome all of those issues. It's just that you cannot drop the ball. You cannot give up, because that wish fulfillment, that connection with the 11th is happening after a certain moment. Now, there will be a point in time where Jupiter will become combust from your sun. And that is the point of time where I would want you to take some level of precaution, taking a step back, retrospecting, introspecting your decisions, and not jumping into any major call for the month during that phase. It's going to be crucial for you to just simply let that time slip by, pass by. Mercury, which happens to be the lord of your 9th house and your 6th house, is placed in your 6th house itself. 6th lord in the 6th house is going to be a very positive movement, which means that irrespective of the challenges coming towards you, irrespective of the issues that you have to address at your work front with respect to your health, you will still be able to overcome them successfully. Albeit, the 3 planetary conjunction will all be giving an aspect into the 12th house, so some sort of a spending, expenses, losses are also promised in the chart. Now, Mercury at a later point in time in the last week of June will be transiting into the sign of Cancer in your 7th house, and this can be a tad bit tricky period from business partners and relationships perspective. I would want you to draw caution in terms of not taking any kind of unnecessary arguments, unnecessary situations where you have to express your mind as to what the other person may not want to listen. I hope I make sense when I say that. But it can be a tricky period with respect to the confidence, the trust factor that will be existing in your partnerships, which includes both your marital partnership as well as your business relationships. All in all, Capricorn, this month is going to be a month which is going to give you some sudden opportunities of finding gains. It is going to be a month where you will have to deep dive into research, learn new things, push hard at your work front in your day-to-day schedule, and you will be getting good outcomes of that push, of that effort. You have to continue to work towards improving your health, and you are doing a fabulous job on that front as well. And if you've liked this video, please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.